name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this is a whole bunch of different musings and news about Star Trek. There's a lot going on with Star Trek right now. Much like Star Wars, I think it's in a really strange and interesting place in that we're having greatness. We are having sheer greatness right now with Star Trek. I think Picard is, the season finale Picard is going to be tomorrow. I can't wait. That's probably when this video is going to come out. The season finale is coming out, and it's like, I can't wait. It looks so good. It's been so good. I felt a little bit clunky a little bit in the last episode, but basically speaking, I am adoring Picard. I am loving Terry Matalas. Please just give him the keys to the kingdom. And that's the point, right? That's the point. There's a lot of contradictory stuff going on because the Starfleet Academy series apparently greenlit, and now we got this Michelle Yeoh Section 31 movie, which is probably going to be garbage. And I think it's being commissioned purely on the strengths of having Michelle Yeoh in it, right? So what's going on? So I got a tip. So actually, I found out that somebody's about the Michelle Yeoh thing about 24 hours before it was released. So I rate the tipster, right? The tipster got it right, so I think that's good. He's just sent me some more information about what's going on within Paramount, which explains a lot, right? Which does explain a lot to me and makes it more understandable. So he says that an interesting thing has happened in that Picard has completely outperformed everything else, which has reinvigorated Star Trek somewhat, which has given Alex Kurtzman some juice. It's the same thing happened with Kathleen Kennedy and Mandalorian. Like, Star Wars was on its knees. It was a complete disaster. And then Mandalorian came along and it breathed new life in it. And it gave Kathleen Kennedy more juice to stay around. It was incredible. So apparently the same thing's going on. Why? Because, listen, corporations are full of morons, essentially, right? And they're more moronic now than they ever were before. But apparently there's three camps. So let me read this rumor for you about what's going on. There's three camps in the executive suite at Paramount right now. Camp number one wants a complete reset. I think they probably want to sell it off to Apple or something, which is where, by the way, this video that we're going to watch in a second, this all comes from a live stream I did last night. The first part comes from me imagining what would happen if, like, Apple bought Star Trek, right? And how they could use it to the best. I love doing stuff like that. So they want a complete reset. The second camp doesn't know what the hell to do, but they can't deny that Picard Season 3 is outperforming and want to pick up from there. So I would say that's the Terry Matalas camp. Give Terry Matalas the keys to the frickin' kingdom, okay? Because he knows what he's doing. Terry Matalas should be the Rick Berman or the Gene Roddenberry of the current year, right? And the last camp is pro Kurtzman for some reason. I guess because they'd have egg on their face if they get rid of him. And they're the ones that are behind this Section 31 movie. Oh, yeah, everything. You go back and look at Kurtzman's work. Like, look at Star Trek Into Darkness, was it called, or whatever piece of crap it was. And it's all the same thing. It's all like, oh, dark, evil people working behind the scenes. No, lean into Star Trek, you prick. You just don't understand it at all. I mean, Terry Matalas is like the inverse of Kurtzman, right? So they want to buy a movie. So the tipster says it's an absolute mess behind the scenes. These three camps are at war with each other. One person, I'm not going to say his name, is in the reset camp. But a lot of his subordinates are not. And they're the ones pro Kurtzman. That's really interesting. So I don't know the name of the person he told me. That's why I'm not saying it. They're the ones who gave him this TV movie, and they have agreed this will not go theatrical as they want to protect those numbers. Yeah, because it won't be very good. I mean, it depends on the creative you have working on it, I guess. I mean, anything can be good, right? But I doubt it'll be very good. It's like the concept is really bad. I mean, unless you get somebody like really talented, I would like to see maybe Terry Matalas on that. I mean, there are good writers around that could take this boring, turgid concept and turn it around into something actually quite good. I mean, you could do that with pretty much anything. Just look at Alan Moore, right? He did this run on a comic book called Swamp Thing in the early 80s, right? And it was like a completely third or fourth tier character that nobody cared about, and he turned it around just by being a good writer. So you can turn anything around, even the turgid nonsense that is Section 31, right? So they want to protect the number, and they think a theatrical life will start, especially in this that's been this divisive is untenable and will humiliate the studio. The other three sides are at war, and one other with one another, and that's why all the information is changing as CBS factions are making decisions against each other. I think that's happening at Lucasfilm as well, right? I think that's happening at Disney. I think that's happening everywhere. I think the culture war is being fought on many battlefields. Don't believe, that Paramount is one monolith. Same with Disney, same with Lucasfilm. There's lots of people involved. So I think there's still hope for the future, given, like, we've had literally stunning Star Trek thus far, I think Strange New Worlds is excellent as well. So fine, in this video, you had this. I wanted to update you on the news. You have, from my live stream last night, my musings on what to do with Star Trek, as like an Apple hub. Please do that, that'd be fantastic. And also then there's a cut in it, and I wasn't going to buy the Strange New Worlds Blu-ray, right? I wasn't really interested. I thought it was basically dumb, right? And then Keith Ells, who's on my channel occasionally to review Picard, from his channel is Home Media Minefield and also British Isles, right? He's a Star Trek, maven. He knows a lot about it, and he reviews physical media. Very good. Go check out the channel. So he was telling me he just started plowing through the Strange New Worlds Blu-ray, and he says it's excellent. It looks out, and I really like Strange New Worlds. I felt it was like a fresh, original take based on Star Trek. Right, that's the sort of thing I love. Right, theatrically, I'm not sure I said this in my thing, but what they think they should do theatrically is maybe just giving Quentin Tarantino some, or give great directors, say, do whatever you want within Star Trek. And I think we'll just have great Star Trek movie after great Star Trek movie. Give Terry Matalas keys to everything because he's freaking awesome. Fine. With that said, I'm going to hand over to me from last night. This was on a live stream. I live stream every night. Come and join me on Rumble. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. They live stream simultaneously all those places at once. Videos like this also go most of those places, also like Facebook and stuff like that. So all of the videos, if you want to do me a solid, right, you want to help me out, head over to Rumble and subscribe to me there. If you can comment on Rumble, you're doing it. I'm really trying to build up my Rumble channel because it's so much better for me than YouTube. Right, I get 3 times the viewers on Rumble, actually 5 times the viewers on Rumble now. So please, if you want to help me out, that would be fan-freaking-tastic. Okay, let me head over to me from last night. Just got news there's going to be a Section 31 movie, not a show. So I'm hearing lots of things from, by the way, the Michelle Yeoh section, but that was one, the tipster I'm working from predicted that 24 hours before it dropped. So that was very impressive. I have to tell you. I was like, the guy got it right. Really nailed it. So, nobody really liked Starfleet Academy, but what's happened is this: exactly the same thing that happened with Mandalorian and Kathleen Kennedy, right? Kathleen Kennedy had failed in every way, shape, and form. Jon Favreau came in under the radar and did this little show, Mandalorian, and it was the hugest hit ever, right? It was huge, right? People loved it. It reinvigorated the brand Star Wars, which they then praised Kathleen Kennedy for. See? You got to remember, you're dealing with corporate assholes. They don't know from anything, right? So it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing's gone down over here. That Picard's done very well. Picard's outperformed every other Star Trek, right? It's done insanely well. It's got into the top 10 of streaming, which no other Star Trek has, right? It's outperformed, I think, all of them put together. I think Strange New Worlds probably came the closest, right? And because of that, Alex Kurtzman's got more juice, right? So basically, they were basically moving out the offices. They had to close. So they had to close. They didn't really like Starfleet Academy, but that's iffy apparently.
and they were going to wrap up Star Trek and try and sell it on to. I think Apple would be the best home for it, right? I think a Star Trek hub on Apple would be perfect for it, right? A Star Trek hub on Apple would be that's worth having Apple for, right? Imagine you had a hub on Apple, you click Star Trek, you had all of Star Trek, right, on 4K, like, or whatever there. Yeah, at Apple, you can put some money into upgrading DS9, mate. Okay, I think that's reasonable, right? Yeah. Can you imagine that getting a 4K DS9? Oh man, that'd be awesome. But yeah, so you have like all the different Star Trek series, including the shit. I would have a channel for the fan films, right? My plan for Star Trek, baby, right? My plan for Star Trek. This is what I would do. Well, we got to change things around now because Terry Metalis is around. So Terry Metalis will clearly be the Rick Berman, would really clearly be the Gene Roddenberry, right? He is the person who I would trust with the creative vision for all of Star Trek, right? He understands it to such an incredible degree, a better degree than I did, right? And man, he's got inside these characters. After that, the writing was a bit ropey for the last episode and a half, right? That episode 8 was essentially kind of a bottle episode, which was fine, but like, it started off, okay, it had a cliffhanger on episode 7 saying, we're going to find out about Jack. And then it ended on episode 8 with saying, we're going to find out about Jack. I mean, oh, man. What they should have done, they probably didn't have the budget, sadly, was go into more detail about this Borg Changeling Alliance, right? I would love to, like, how did that go down? What's going on? Right, this Borg, wounded Changeling Alliance thing. And honestly, I would have liked it much more if there was like a unifying factor, like Gul Dukat as a Par Wraith, right? So, okay, nothing's really. I think I said this earlier. Nothing really happened. Like this thing didn't kick in until, let's say, Jack goes through the wormhole, right? In there, you have like Gul Dukat there, Mark Alamo, right? As a Par Wraith, I think. And he sniffs something, right? He sniffs like like an opportunity, and he he's the mastermind, that links them all together. Now I don't mind the Borg Queen being an artist, but like it was too clunky, right? Having said that, Terry Metalis, yeah, you are the man. You are the man to have the overview of the creative vision. What I would want to do, like on this Star Trek hub, I mean, also you have all the movies, obviously, and definitely fan films, but I would also add on I would add on like a YouTube element as well, right? I would allow fans to host their own podcasts like this about Star Trek, right? And right, you would be able to use all the episodes to do voiceovers or like a commentary on, like watch-alongs, right? You would totally be able to do if they were smart, right? If they were smart, because it would just increase traffic to their site, right? It will just increase the usability of it, right? It'd be incredible. I hope Rusty Davis is going to do something similar, right, with Doctor Who. But yeah, like add a layer of fan interactivity. Then you don't need to do the Will Wheaton pieces of shit, right? Which everybody wants to vomit when you look at, right? But you would have like a Red Letter Media, right, doing very well, right? It'll be a meritocracy. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? Right? Okay, in terms of new programming, programming though, I would like to see, firstly, a budget for a Star Trek Continues season, right? Star Trek Continues, the original series that looks exactly like from the 60s. Love what they did. Look, if you have to recast everyone, fine. You keep Rick Montinga, whatever his name, Rick Montanga as Kirk, and the redheaded chick as a new character who is very hot. And who else? You can switch out everybody else. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me, right? If you get it doesn't bother me, right? But I love those fan films, right? There's a guy who played the Klingon a lot in the first version of it. The guy who was an Elvis impersonator, right? He was the first Kirk I saw. Who was Vic Monaga is awesome. I love his Kirk. It really works, right? But do a season of that, right? Definitely do a season of that. Green light and fun and action art. Do different versions of Star Trek. There doesn't have to be one anymore, right? Terry Matalas, whatever you want to do. Special project, whatever you want to do. One year you could do a Riker show. Another year you could do a Romulan Federation war with the Enterprise crew. I'd love to see that, by the way. A mini-series like this where the Enterprise crew comes out of retirement for the Romulan war, right? And they're all old and creaky now, right? And they're on you get to redesign stuff so it's somewhere in the middle. You got the secondary hull going on the Enterprise. That'll be awesome, right? That would be freaking awesome, right? I would love to see that. I look the word about the on the street for the finale is supposed to be it's fantastic. It's called The Last Generation. It's supposed to be fantastic. I can't wait. I am so psyched to see that, right? So that's totally amazing. And SFX have delayed their release date so they got spoilers in their new issue. Okay, so it's $20. That's significant. Let's have a look. Because I enjoyed this show. I enjoyed this show a lot. I thought this was somebody's take on Star Trek. That's how I looked at it, right? To me, it didn't have to be in the same universe, right? Let's see what the front is. It the same as the slip? Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the review quickly because this is, by the way, this is a great site for to know if Blu-rays are worth it. And if you want to go into it, Strange New World video quality, that's pretty darn high. Okay, that's good. Audio quality, also very good. Strange New World special features. Let's see what it's got. Audio commentary in this one is Strange New Worlds by Anson Mount and Akiva Goldsman. That's interesting. One second, because somebody told me something about that. Let me look back because Keith actually mentioned something about it. Let's have a look. Where'd he go? There you go. Okay, it says he says it's a great commentary. That's interesting. As a Mount and Akiva Goldsman. Okay, that's interesting. Deleted scenes, Children of the Comet, and goes there. Yeah, who cares? I don't really care. This deleted scenes on disc 2, and disc 3. You have the original episode, Battles of Terror. I already have it, but that's nice, right? Deleted scenes. I don't really care. Pike's Peak. A look at Anson Mount's time in quarantine, followed by an intimate behind-the-scene access to making Strange New Worlds. Okay, interesting. World building. A look at something that was like 17 and a half minutes. This is 12 minutes. Look at cutting-edge technology used to make some of those set pieces and special effects. That I really want to see, right? And exploring new worlds. Okay, you got a 53-minute documentary. Sold. It's sold on this, right? A comprehensive exploration of Project Origins and structure with emphasis on characters and how they fit into episodes and larger arcs. Can you just get rid of Ensign Latinx lesbian? Yeah, she just irritates the hell out of me. Oh yeah, that's something I'm gonna get. That sounds really good, right? That does sound actually really, 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 really good. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.